Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of CityZilla Plays City Skylines. And in this episode, we are going to be building out residential and office space on the road layout that we did on the last episode. And it's kind of funny. I actually, this is my second take at this recording. I had built out the entire area and spent a lot of time on it, and then realized that I wasn't recording. And so we're going to go at it again and let me know if you guys have any suggestions or comments. This is kind of a bigger build, but I'm really liking how it's going so far. And then a couple other things that we're probably going to have to dive into. We are having some traffic issues related to our cargo hubs. And we're still having the issue with not enough employees, but that should be fixed after. Actually, this is not enough customers or employees. And so we just don't have enough residents to be able to support our new commercial zones. And so I think by deleting this area, it has helped out the area quite a bit. And so, but I want to go ahead and dive into this layout that we have. And I'm kind of looking at this road and I can see that it is backwards. And so I want to flip it real quick. And there we go. And so what I'm thinking is we're going to definitely, so we'll probably do like mid-rise residential right here. And then I'm thinking low density residential right there, and then I'm thinking also some offices right here. I think it's going to be a good mixture. I was kind of going back and forth as to whether we should do low density residential in this area or high rises. I think the road layout though lends to high density, whereas in low density this might actually be kind of a weirder layout, especially connected to this bigger roundabout right here. So I think we have a pretty good setup so far. We are still losing population by quite a bit. I think it has something to do with the our overall health, and then so like average health 90%, which we definitely increased quite a bit in the last episode by placing down the some of the clinics and some of the hospitals and stuff. But a lot of our residents are just seniors, and so I think we're going to end up going through whole death wave with that, and so we're just gonna have to play it out. I'm gonna keep it unpaused as long as we can, just so we can kind of play out this population drop, and then let's go ahead and see what we can do. So first off, schools. I want to do the nicer ones, the community school and the Institute of Creative Arts, because we're going to be placing down a few of them. I think it's just a really nice addition, and so we're going to place those there, and then we're probably going to do like a whole little complex on this side. I think if we do like a park or something, that would probably be good. So we'll put like a park in the middle, and then probably do one of the schools on one side, and we'll come over here and probably put that there as well. But then also probably do the library across the street. I think that looks pretty good. And then what I'm thinking for this side is, so I want to do the community school. I think because this is the main road, this area right here might make the most sense. And so we'll probably put that like right there. And then let's see if we can fit, I think we can fit the small park in here. Yeah, we can. Look at that. That's perfect. It's even got a little playground. And normally, I mean, with high schools, you would have like whole sporting kind of venues. And so maybe we could place down some stuff. I know some other creators have done this before, and so I know it looks good. I don't have a ton of the assets for it though, and so I think what we'll end up doing is probably something like this, and then maybe we'll put some paths in the middle. I think that could look good, and then probably put down some trees and stuff. I know I could go on to the Steam Workshop and get a bunch of assets that would blend in pretty well with this, but I think for our purposes right now, this is going to look pretty good, but we shall see. Maybe I do need to go in and because you definitely see this with schools. In American schools, this would be a track with an American football stadium in the middle, and then you probably have like some soccer fields over here, and then like a little baseball field. And sports are a big part of going to school. And so I think for tree purposes, we're probably just going to do something like this and then follow this down. I think that looks good. Maybe we can, if we can get this guy. I don't know if we can, it's so close to that park. Maybe we'll just do that and then come down here. I think that looks okay. And then let's just go ahead and place a couple more of these guys in here. Yeah, there you go. You know what, I think that looks pretty good. We would still want to leave some areas for students to maybe go out on the grass and study or something like that, and so we wouldn't want to fill the entire thing up. But I am going to put probably a fence around just the opening. We would want to leave access on the path, but I think for everything else, it's pretty common to have a fence around school properties. I'll probably come up here and just attach it to that path. I think that would look good. We'll probably even come down here. We really don't need to, but turn collision off. And there you go. And then this way we could actually, I think there's actually a little, yeah, we'll just do that. So we'll probably just cut that in, have it come across. Yeah, there you go. You know what, I think that looks pretty good. And so that way this could still be utilized as like park space, but then some of these areas would still be fenced off, and so I could see that being a thing. And before I forget as well, we do need to, it's kind of funny, the last episode we spent that time with our services, and I almost forgot. So I think we could do with a big hospital maybe. I think that would be good. Let's go ahead and turn collision back on before I forget. So I think, man, how's the coverage on that? That's pretty good. It's right off the main road. So I think that's going to look pretty good. Yeah. And then we'll come in here and probably do some of these big guys too. Do one right there, and then let's see if we can squeeze in one right next to it. And there you go. And then let's probably put a crematorium. We'll put a... we'll do the crematorium. Right next to the hospital. We'll put it on the back side because I want to leave room for paths. So normally you would see a crematorium next to a cemetery. So I think we'll end up doing like a whole cemetery park area. Cemeteries a lot of times are really big. Oh, there you go. Does it clip the building? Oh, that's not bad. And then so for this area, we'll probably just come down. We'll just do that. I think that looks pretty good. And then we'll just put down some trees. Yeah. I'm just going to have to place that last little tree. Maybe we can even fit some bushes on this front side. You know what? I think that looks pretty good. So maybe we'll follow that. I really like the bushes, but I forget about them a lot. But I think they look really good, and you always see them whenever you have landscaping like this, like bushes. Yeah, there you go. And then let's see if we can put in a couple of these guys. And then we'll put in some foliage here in the middle. I'd like to say we could get some rocks in here, but I think it's too small for the bigger rocks, but we might be able to fit a couple of these guys in. Gotta put on prop and tree anarchy. And there you go. You know what? I think that looks pretty good. Maybe if we put just a couple smaller rocks, you know, I think that looks alright, especially for this area. It's kind of like a service complex, almost like a little baby guy. And then let's see if we can fit a couple of these guys in, because we know these are important. And of course they don't cover, you know what, I think we'll probably end up putting them right here. I think this is going to look pretty good if we do them. Does that cover right there? Yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll bring it up a notch. And we'll build another little area for it because we need to fit both of them. So maybe we'll put that there. We'll put this there. Say we could do the cemetery right next to him, but I think having it next to the elder care might kind of scare some of the people. You know, and I think right there is good. I was kind of hoping for a little bit better of an area than that, but I think that's going to work out. And so let's put in some path access. Probably come down here, and that's our school right there. Let's see if we can put a park next to that guy. Yeah, there you go. Before I forget, let's park over here too. I think we got the park over. Yeah, we did. And so now we could actually, let's see if we can move this guy in. Does it still cover right there? Man, it's like barely. You know what, if I move the other one over. Yeah, I think this is going to work out better because then this whole area is going to be kind of like another little service complex. And then we can actually create path access. And let's get one in here. Yeah, there you go. And I think that looks pretty good. And then let's just put in some trees again. And I think I'm going to follow that same little pattern with the little bushes and everything. I think it looks good. We'll just follow this guy up. And here we go. I really like how the bushes look. And you normally, whenever you have landscaping like this, you always have like small bushes or foliage. And that's kind of what the foliage does, is it puts small little bushes in, aka foliage. And I could move those closer together, but I like having a little bit of transparency in there. I'll probably put a couple of these, maybe some small ones in here. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Just kind of decorate up this area just a little bit. Really, I try not to overdo the grass because I think grass looks really good in a lot of areas. And so having this foliage would actually just be kind of a fire hazard. But I think it does clean up some areas. So maybe we could even put in a couple little colored trees. I like having these trees. Yeah, they look great. Look at that. It just adds in some flair. Some contrast. Maybe we'll even just put one. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. That's pretty nice. It kind of doesn't really fit in well with the overall area since we kind of did a different color contrast over here. But I think it looks good, especially for the elder care. This would kind of be similar to like a hospice or like a retirement home, and so they would be walking around, and this would just be a really pretty area. And so what else do we need to do? So we got this, we got that. Let's go ahead and lay down some path networks. So I want to, we already have, I mean, the roads themselves provide pretty good path access, but I'm thinking maybe if we just cut in at these diagonals, it could add a nice little look for the area, but then also provide that much needed access. Yeah, you know what? I think this is going to look pretty good. It's kind of a little redundant with the tunnels we already have, but I think it's going to help people to get around a little faster. That's really what we're trying to go for. We're trying to provide good access for people. I could put bridges in, but I don't think it's necessary. Maybe we will just connect these guys up. For over here, what I want to do is I'd actually split up the zoning to be able to put in some paths kind of behind the buildings. Yeah, I think this is going to look pretty good. And then we're going to have to figure out, because I want to put in some commercial but not overdo it. Yeah, we lost that whole row. I want to tuck this into where we don't lose any of the zoning. We might lose a little bit on that one side, but that's not a big deal. As long as we can still maintain the 4 across for the majority of it, I think it's going to be okay. Yeah, there you go. Probably just cut this in. We'll cut that in too. So probably we might lose a ton of zoning on this one. I was kind of hoping that the park would have fit in better. Probably would have done a little better down there. But maybe if we do this in a way... Yeah, you know what? Let's see if we can anarchy this in. I don't know how that would look, but I think it could be justified a little bit. No, we gotta get rid of it. Maybe if we just cut this down. Yeah, you know what? I think that's okay. It does kind of hurt our path network a little bit, but I think it could be justified. And it actually provides us an opportunity to be able to yeah, it's okay. I think we're kind of overdoing it just a little bit, but I think walkability is important. Maybe we'll do something different on this side. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that looks alright. And then I do want to come in and put some bridges in. I think maybe we'll even cut this down here too. You know what? I think that looks pretty good. We got some pretty good access for this back road though. Maybe we will cut this in. Just go like that. Yeah, because in it, you know, it's all about providing different routes for these pedestrians. So I think this would definitely do it. Yeah, there you go. And they got that road. And there you go. Oh, pretty good. Let's go ahead and look at our... Oh, you know what? Our traffic's actually not doing too bad over there. And so for this side, not really sure what we're going to do with this. But for this, I know we're going to do office parks. So we'll come down here. I want to get this straight if we can. I would have liked to have it straight with that one, but I think that may be asking a little too much. But I think for this side, maybe we will do, because this is going to be our little office park, so I think if we did some plazas, and I think if we do that, and then there you go, yeah, look at that, fits in perfect. And so we'll come back to our paths, and we'll come down here, we'll just connect this guy up. And then I think we'll put in a couple of rocks over here, because this is a great opportunity for it, we don't want to pass up on it. Anytime to put in like a big rock formation, it's just really impressive. Yeah, there you go. Put this guy in, and we'll come in here and put some foliage. Yeah, I think that looks great. And then we will come to our handy dandy little pine tree-ish kind of tree. I think it's a conifer. Yeah, conifer. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. I think maybe we'll just put a couple little baby rocks. And then let's put a fence around it. This wouldn't be an area that we would necessarily want people climbing on the rocks. You know, I think that'll do. That's a nice little entrance to our office park area. We could actually probably fit another guy over here. Let's see. So if we do, yeah, you know what? I think this is gonna look good. And then this side might be a little harder. Let's put some smaller compers. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Let's see, I don't know. I think getting a fence around here might be a little harder, but I think we can do a little one at least. Maybe halfway around. Man, I think it would be kind of weird to cut in like that, but I think it provides the safety that we're looking for. We just wouldn't want like kids and stuff climbing on that. So it's a pretty good entrance to our little office park. And so I think we got everything. We got services. I think we'll end up doing like a cemetery. And you know what? I think this one actually looks kind of weird right here. So I think I'm going to remove this because I just don't think it fits in really well right there. But I think maybe if we did like a big cemetery park area, that would be good. Maybe over here. Thinking, because let's see how big these are. So they're pretty big. We could maybe do it right here. Do we need this road? What is this road here for? I mean, it's a pretty close junction. Maybe we'll get rid of this road. And we'll just bring this road out. Yeah, I think this would make more sense, because then we could just put our cemeteries on this. I want to do like a couple. Because a lot of times when you see cemeteries, they're big areas. So we could go right there. You know what, I think we're going to do this whole street. I think we'll do a park in the middle. Let's see about fitting a park first. So we'll do, would have liked to have gotten that big guy. And there you go. And then let's put in a couple more. I don't think we're going to be able to, but we'll do some more on this side. 3, 4. You know what? I think that looks pretty cool. I kind of wish that you could blend them all into one, as having, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 separate cemeteries on one road is kind of a little weird, but I think because what I'm going for is just a giant cemetery, and so I think this is the closest thing we got. And I think we're gonna put some trees around it. And we'll probably decorate up the area. Yeah, I think, you know what, I think that looks pretty good. And then we can actually just put some fences around this guy. So maybe this would still be part of the cemetery, so maybe we'll gate it off as though it is. And then let's see if we can get, I think we can get, yeah, we'll just do that, and then pretty sure we can get this over here. Yeah, look at that. You know what? I think that looks pretty good. And again, maybe we'll throw in some rocks. Maybe, you know, we can't give up on the rocks. I think this would look pretty good. Yeah, you know what? That's respectful. Then let's see if we can. It's a lot of foliage, but I need to get like some flowers. That's what I need to get instead of just putting foliage down. If this were like flower kind of areas, it would just look a lot nicer. I think for this guy, if we actually, yeah, you know what? I think this is gonna look good. There you go. And then maybe we'll just put in a couple little red guys. So I like the color. It makes it kind of like a grand entrance to this little cemetery area. I wish there was a way to do just a giant cemetery, but I think we're going to pause it because a lot of these buildings are starting to have some pretty big problems. And now we are at the point where we can zone. And so first thing I want to do is figure out what we're going to do for commercial. I think, so this road right here would be good. I mean, this little side road, this through street would be a good good point, and it's got the little school next to it too, so I think what we'll do is we'll leave those there. We'll leave some spaces so that we can put in some trees and stuff. And I don't want to be too close to that roundabout, so I think I'm just going to do a couple 4x4s on either side. And then we'll come up here, and it's already 2 away, so we're just going to leave that like that. But then we're just going to do a couple little 4x4 sections again. I think that looks pretty good. And then I think for this main road, we're actually going to not zone on it. So I want to do like a little tree lined kind of thing. Yeah, there you go. You know what? I think that looks pretty good. And then, so I think for this side, we'll probably do this tree lined as well, since this would be kind of our main segue over to a potential toll road coming over to this area. And so I think this would be a good location for it. I think I literally just zoned some stuff on this road though, so we'll have to go back in and see. Yeah, I did, so that's alright though. So we're gonna take that off and then figure out some other locations for some small zoning. Nothing too crazy, but enough to get a little bit of shops in. I'll probably come in here. Oh, there you go. And so we didn't do that road, so we can actually do this road, which would be good. So probably just do a 4x4 there. Yeah, there you go. And then I think that's probably good. We can even we'll put some on this side too, because we don't have too much commercial in here. I think that's pretty good. And then we'll even put a couple on this road. It's not zoned on this side, but we would be kind of leading people to certain directions. And so it would have been smart to actually do this one as a tree-lined one as well, but I'm not super worried about it. And so let's go ahead and paint our districts. I want to make sure that we do. I'm going to do this one as one district. I think this would look good. And so what I'm thinking is we'll probably turn this into like a height band, so that we can just get mid-rises, since you can't really zone in mid-rises, and we don't want to just put a bunch of skyscrapers in here, especially since it's going to be in such close proximity to a low-density residential neighborhood. And so I think it would be fair to assume that there would be a height band. I think I started a separate district. And there we go. And then we'll just come into the bigger one and fill it in real quick. And there you go. And then we'll do the office park district down here. And there you go. And voila. And so we got Mulberry Park, Lafayette Heights, and Holly Heights. So I think we're going to do, maybe we'll keep it Holly, but we'll do Office Park. And then this one on the initial recording had gone to Cherry Hill. And so I really like that. I think that's cool. And then maybe we can do Cherry Heights. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And then so we'll come in here to our policies and city planning and do high-rise ban. And then we'll probably do, let's do high-tech housing as well. I think high-tech housing might be on all of them. No, it's not. And so we'll come in here, city planning again, high-tech housing. And then we'll come into this area too and do high-tech housing. There you go. And perfect. And so it's kind of funny, I just thought about it, but there are some citywide policies for tourism that we really haven't done. And so one of them is boost connections, which is great. You can see it adds it to all districts, which is really good, what we want. Tax income slightly increases adult citizen happiness. Maybe we'll do the workers unions too. They do decrease our residential tax income, but I think it could be justified. And then there was one, it was a tourism travel card, I believe, but I think it's in services, yeah. And so, yeah, tourism travel card. The city will receive 8% more tourists, cost increase. City bus network upkeep by 15%. I think that is perfect, because we definitely want that. And so we'll do the book fairs too, since we're such a big library city. Park maintenance boosts, park maintenance vehicle shift length. We don't really want to do that. We don't want to do that. We don't have blimps. I don't want to do high ticket prices. We don't want to do prefer ferries. We could do this: moderately increase tourism, slightly reduce crime rate, increases police budget by 15%. I mean, that's definitely controversial, but I think it's going to be good for our tourism, so we're going to go ahead and hit that. And then educational project working for young adults, increase the education budget. Okay, so you know what? I think that's probably pretty good. I don't want to mess with any of our tax stuff. VIP area, any and all shelters. Okay, so electric cars. You know what? I think airplane starts organizing airplanes. So we are definitely going to do the aviation club at some point, and then we are going to do automated tolls once we get that toll road in. But I think for right now, that's probably good where we're at. And so let's zone in the residential on this guy. And so what I'm thinking is we'll probably, I don't know if I'm going to go on the main roads. I don't know. You know, we could do some commercial on this guy too. I think that could be justified. I'm leaving the 2 spaces empty on the sides because I want to do like trees and stuff. I think this would be good. Just a couple shops, nothing too crazy, but enough to support the area. And so we're gonna go in here. I think, you know what, we probably will do the outside. These are gonna be mid-rises, and so I think it could be justified. You know, we could do path networks going sideways through these guys. I don't know if we're gonna need it because of the roads, but maybe it would take people off the roads. Let's see how it looks. You know what, I think it's gonna mess up our commercial on the sides. And this already is gonna be kind of messed up. Maybe we'll just do the path down the middle and have the commercial go to the sides. I think that could probably be smart, because then it would provide a little more access. Let's see how it looks for this one. You know what? I think that's gonna be pretty nice to have. And then maybe we'll do some bridges. Yeah, you know what? Just messed up my whole commercial methodology, but I think this is going to be worth it. So, and I think we're going to do bridges. I don't know if we'll do bridges all the way around, but they're so close to the intersections already. Don't want it to mess up the zoning right there. Yeah, there you go. Squeeze it in the middle. I think that's going to work out well. There we go. And then we'll come up here and then cut across. We'll come up here. And there we go. You know what? I think that makes a lot of sense to have. I don't know why I didn't even think about that before, but I think that makes sense. And so we'll definitely want to get some bridges in here. I think maybe this guy right here. since it's a bigger intersection. And I don't really want to mess with the commercial zoning, so I think we're going to just go this way. It's not as good of access, but it still provides some pretty good access. So, and I think just that one right there is probably good. The rest of them are all smaller roads, and then our two roundabouts have great bridge access. You know what? Maybe we'll do this side too. And I put in that rock park. Yep, it's alright. Sometimes progress is made by going backwards. Those are going to be really steep, but it would be a setting to where in real life they would be stairs. You know what? I think these look pretty good. I'm glad we put a couple of those in. But I think the smaller roads are going to provide really good walkability for the rest of these people. I think it would have been smart to do one right there. Yeah, you know what? I think we're going to have to. So this is going to end up being a huge intersection. Hate to delete stuff, but I think it's gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to move this over. Yep. And then we're just gonna go delete these little guys. And then I can do the path access going the other direction towards the cemeteries, but it is going to delete some stuff. But I think that this is gonna be really important for this area. And I could just use the pedestrian bridge builder, but I think doing it yourself, you kind of get to see things from a different perspective a lot. You know what? It doesn't provide access right here. It's just, this is terrible. We're just going to come through and just delete this one little corner. You know what? I think that looks okay. So actually lost a little bit of our fence, but again, I think that's going to be really important. Okay, so we can go back to our zoning. So I think, you know, we had messed up our commercial. I think this is still going to look pretty good. We do have some areas where it's not ideal, but it works out. Because of the path networks, I just wanted to increase the commercial zoning a little bit. And so we'll definitely come in here and now we can start filling these in. So we'll come in here. And initially I was thinking I wasn't going to go on the main roads, but I think because it is high density, it's not as big of a deal. Because we could just do more commercial down these guys. I think we got a lot of commercial already though. Maybe I could delete that row of commercial and just make this into a row of commercial. I think, you know what, because we got a bunch in there already, maybe we'll do that. Because then we could stick some more commercial on this side. We'll still put some small ones on this one. We'll just go 3 high. I think that would be good. And then, but that way we can actually put in a little bit more zoning. Part of me thinks we should just do those little blocks as commercial. I don't really want commercial on these side roads though. Yeah, I think this is gonna be better. Then we're gonna put in offices over here. We didn't put a path down the middle. And there you go. And then just put offices in here. And I don't think I'm going to put them on the outside street. I think I'm going to leave that empty for future use. So we left those roads empty, which is great. And then I think we are going to leave this empty and then continue our little tree lined kind of thing. Yeah, there you go. And then for this side, we are just going to do low density. Yeah, I think that's perfect. We'll probably leave that empty. And then for this area, I'm not really sure what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and unpause it though. Okay, so it looks like it has not connect. You know, it's because those roads that we didn't connect, and so I think I'm just going to connect this guy up real quick. Yeah, I think this would be good. There you go. And then that should connect up the rest of it. We did lose a little bit of industry there. Oh, let's on pause. Yep. There you go. We did lose a little bit of buildings, but they'll grow back. Kind of let the game run because I thought it was going to connect, but I forgot that we didn't zone on this road, so it doesn't have any way to jump from here to there unless it builds out. But we didn't build anything in this area too, so it's kind of funny we left that like that. But I think I am going to zone these in because it's valuable real estate. And then we'll probably put in a couple little shops right here. Yeah, we'll keep that empty. I think this looks pretty good so far, other than the abandoned buildings, but they're gonna fix themselves. And you can see our population has already jumped way back, and so we should be bouncing out over here now. I think we need some foliage or something in here. Maybe we'll put just a couple more trees in here. So I think having these lawns like that empty is kind of weird, though. In real life, it would probably look good, but because grass doesn't come out that good from an aerial view, it just looks kind of weird. And I think because we did the gold on the outside, maybe we could do the red in the middle, since we have the red also in there. So I think the red would probably look pretty good in here. Yeah, I think so. Like right there. We'll do that. And like that. And like that. You can see a lot of people are already using these, which is great. Our money's kind of jumping around a lot, but I think it has to do with our whole, yeah, oh, look at this. It's gotten so much worse. And so while we let this side of the city figure itself out with all these abandoned buildings, they do rebuild on their own. I could go through and delete them all, but I think I'm going to leave them. It looks like maybe this one power line's probably not enough for this area. It should be enough, but I think it's because it's not jumping over to this side that well. Oh, you know, it's because these... No, it actually should go over there. That's weird. Oh, you know what? Oh, wow. We are using a ton of electricity. Let's jump over here. Good thing I noticed that, because let's pause the game. So we can put in another nuclear power plant, which is 640, or we could try to diversify into something else that we got. What do we got? So ocean thermal conversion. We have another solar updraft tower, which these are great. So 80, 240. So this is 8,000. So I think you get 3 of these. So it's about 6. I think it's less expensive. Yeah, you actually get better power with less money with the other guys. So I think we will put this guy in here since this is kind of an empty space. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Maybe we will put another path on the other side. I would put trees, but everything in here is just going to die because of all the pollution. So not really worth it. While we're over here, though, we can check our oil status, which it looks pretty terrible. I need to go in and click the unlimited oil option. I keep forgetting every time I load the game up. I just don't think about it. So I just keep coming back through and painting it all in, and the game just sucks up the entire oil field super fast, even though, I mean, this in real life would probably just be years and years worth of oil. But for some reason over here it's not. But you can see, I mean, these people are having some pretty major employment issues. 12 jobs available, not enough workers. It's pretty much everywhere you go. But I'm hoping that this new neighborhood over here, once all these people get kind of fixed, not enough workers, yeah. So let's see where our unemployment rate is now. Yeah, 3%, but these should start building out. Yeah, we got young adults in here. Young adults. Let's see over here where these were going. I mean, we got some pretty decent workforces, so these should fill out.